Welcome to the first Mohawks interview of the 2022 season. I'm Matt Zumbolo, along with Nicolas, and we've got a very special guest with us for our first one. It's John Nogowski, 2013 Mohawk. John, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, guys.
So, like I said, John played with the Mohawks in 2013, and that was a really good team. We were talking about it a little bit before we started, John. Can you kind of dive back into that team a little bit? What was so great about it?
We just had such a deep lineup. I think we had Josh Gardner leading off for us. We had Brian Ruby. We had John Sansone, Kyle Barrett, super fast guy, left-handed hitter out of Kentucky. So we had a really, really deep lineup, 1 through 9. And Coach Griffin did a great job. I mean, he, to this day, one of my favorite coaches, one of the best coaches I've ever had. So a good lineup that can score runs and a great coach. It worked out pretty well. We had a really, really good team, ended up winning it all. And such a special memory. Just summer ball in general is always fun. It's kind of a little bit less pressure than playing at Florida State. So getting to do that and getting to know different guys that you've kind of played against at other colleges and stuff, for them to be on your team and kind of getting to know them, it was pretty cool.
So not only did you go all the way, as you mentioned, John, and win the PGCBL title that year, but you were also the player of the year and you hit 365. You mentioned it just a second ago. It's a little less pressure playing in summer ball, but still, what did it mean for you to win that award in your young baseball career from a confidence perspective and, heading into your time, at the next level?
I mean, it was awesome. It's not for me. I'm not really a guy that kind of sets out and goes, hey, I want to win this player of the year. For me, it was just trying to help the team every night. However I could do it, defensively, offensively, I had a really good year. I swung the bat really well. But I was just having fun. We were just trying to win games. If we needed a big hit, I kind of was the guy that was up in those spots when we needed it. And that's just kind of the way it worked out. It could have been Josh Gardner, could have been Brian Ruby, could have been Johnny Sansone. It could have been any of these guys. So it meant a lot. It was a huge honor. I mean, there's some really, really good players in that league and guys that are still playing right now that were in that league. So pretty cool, really special to kind of be recognized as that, but definitely kind of wasn't a goal. It was just kind of a byproduct of having a great lineup around you and a great coach.
So my next question is a little bit broad, but you spent a summer in Amsterdam. What was your favorite part or a few of your favorite things that you did? Some of your favorite, even just times of being an Amsterdam Mohawk?
Like I said, being with the guys was great. Amsterdam's kind of a small city, obviously, as you guys know. So there wasn't a ton to do. So after the games, we were all hanging out with each other. We were all, going over to Pat Beck's house or, hanging out wherever, recovery room, wherever we were going to eat that night. And, it was just such a special group of guys that it's not very often that you've got 15, 20 guys all going out to the same restaurant or hanging out at the same house after the game. So the camaraderie was huge. That was a big part. I like going to Turning Stone too every once in a while. We'd go to the casino, me and the boys. So that was fun. And I just love, it's a new part of the country for me. I'm kind of born in Florida, South Georgia area. So being up there and getting to see a new part of the country, it was really cool.
In Amsterdam, they obviously have some phenomenal fans that always pack Shuttleworth Park. Were you somewhat surprised coming to the middle of New York, a place where you probably had no expectations, no idea what you were getting yourself into outside of swinging that bat and, playing on that diamond? But what did you think of the atmosphere behind the team and just how much people cared about this summer collegiate baseball team?
So much support. The fans were great. Brian does a great job getting fans to the park. And, I still have people that I talk to from Amsterdam fans and, obviously the guys that I played with, Coach Griffin came and saw me when we were in Citi Field in New York. So it holds such a special place in my heart. Every guy that I talk to, I try to get them there from Florida State. Brian and Keith and all these guys, they're so great. I learned so much. And that atmosphere is very similar to an A-ball, to kind of a lower level minor leagues where you've got great support from fans. You're in a smaller city and they care how you do. They know your numbers. They know what you did yesterday. And I felt like that was kind of one thing that made me want to play better was, hey, if I go out to dinner tomorrow night, I better get a couple hits tonight because they're going to know if I struck out with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So I just thought it was really cool. The support was top notch.
Yeah, it's just an unmatched fan base. I mean, in the entire PGCBL specifically, I mean, going to other parks, it doesn't match what you can find in Amsterdam.
Yep.
Yeah. My last question about Amsterdam before we get into a little bit more of your professional career. What's your favorite food spot that you found in your summer at Amsterdam? It's an important question for the fans.
I already mentioned it. Recovery room was kind of my spot. I liked it a lot. Great menu. I love wings, so they had some pretty good wings there. Burgers are good too. So I'm a first baseman. It's not really like I'm stealing a whole lot of bases. So if I need to go have a burger, so that was good. So that was our spot. Me and John Sansone, we did some damage there. That's for sure.
Well, maybe I'll have to hit that up too, because I'm not going to lie. I've never been to Amsterdam. I mean, I've been here at Syracuse for the semester, and, I'm from Connecticut originally. What's your advice to me? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be out there, and if I was, I'd be a real detriment to the team. But honestly, just tell me. I know Matt's from the area, but I want your perspective. Tell me what I should know.
I think for me at least, being there in the summer, going to those games and experiencing it, getting there a little bit early. And talking to the people that are there because they've been there for as long as I have been there. So, I'm old as dirt these days. So, I think just making sure that you get the whole experience. I think so many times some fans go to the game and they don't go to BP or they don't, walk around the stadium and walk around and kind of take in all the good food and all the drinks and everything. So, that's part of summer ball. That's what makes it special. And, so often you can go up and talk to players. The availability is so much better and kind of the vibe is a little bit looser. So, I think go up and talk to the players. You got a question for them, ask them. And I would say 9 times out of 10, most guys want to interact with fans, especially a positive interaction. I think that goes a long way. So yeah, go out there and talk to them and make sure you get the full experience. Get there early.
You got it.
So let's hop a little bit into your professional career. And I kind of want to jump forward a little bit to something that was pretty exciting in your time with the Pirates last year. I mean, as an intern last summer, I was a broadcast intern last summer, and it was something that we were keeping an eye on. Obviously, you mentioned it, Coach Griffin and Brian, both, they went down to Citi Field to watch you play in the middle of the season when there was a couple of days of break. What was that experience like for you? I mean, you came up and you had a really good few weeks with them. How was that for you?
Oh, it was incredible. I played great for about 3 weeks and then struggled for a week there. And, the Pirates were kind of going in a little bit different direction. So trying to get some guys that they wanted to see. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to figure out as a players union is how to try to make all 30 teams competitive and try to incentivize winning. So, I think maybe with a little bit different path, maybe I'm up there a little bit longer. But it was incredible, man. That is what I've worked so hard for. It's, my journey is a lot different than most guys. I played in indie ball and it took me a while to get there. I made the team with the Cardinals out of spring training and getting traded. And it was just an absolutely incredible year. My fiance was with me every step of the way. Obviously my parents were too. And that's what makes it special, getting to see people who have invested in your career, like Coach Griffin and like Brian and getting these guys and having them, have the ability to come to a BP and getting them on the field and, getting a hit in front of these guys, whatever city you go to, Atlanta or St. Louis, wherever, New York. That's what makes it so special. Hitting your first big league home run and being able to give that ball to my dad was everything. It made everything worth it. So hell of a year. I would like to do it again this year and be up the whole year.
So as you mentioned, that was a great 3-week run where for the first time in your career at the major league level, you had a high amount of success hitting the ball. Is it as simple as just the bat got hot, or was it really that stretch of time where you're going to look to emulate it whenever you get back to playing, lockout wise, whenever that is all settled, what was it, just a stretch where it was just the game got a lot simpler for you, or just bring us through that 3-week stretch and why you had a lot of success there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I've been asked it a fair amount. And, I think the biggest thing for me is I got the opportunity. I was in there every single day. I was playing every day. I was hitting 4th or 5th in the lineup and getting big at bats. I think for my first 20 at bats in St. Louis, they were all pinch hits. So, it's tough. These relievers are really good and they get paid to get me out, just like I get paid to get hits off them. So, a lot of times when you're getting 1 at bat, 2 at bats every week or so, it's tough, man. It's tough to keep your time in. And so getting into Pittsburgh and them kind of saying, this is your role and go run with it. I just kind of played my game just like I was playing in Amsterdam. So timing got good, at bats got good, opportunities got a few more and got a few big hits. And for sure, I mean, I definitely got hot and got locked in, but I think a lot of it just has to do with opportunity. And, it's tough. You're going to struggle in the big leagues at some point. You're going to fail. And it's how you can learn from them and kind of how you can kind of make those adjustments for that next 100 at bats. So my first 100 at bats were pretty incredible. And then my next 20 weren't so great. So kind of excited to see what happens for these next 100 breaking up the season and starting off the season.
So we've talked a lot about your bat, but I want to move away to one specific inning from last year where you found yourself on the mound.
Yeah.
Against the Braves. Yeah. You got 3 outs and give up only 1 hit and 4 batters. What was that like?
That was a little bit different. That was a crazy game. I got 4 hits in the game. So it was just it was incredible. I had obviously no plans to ever pitch in the big leagues, but we kind of needed it. Our bullpen was a little bit taxed. I think we were hitting the road that next day, or I think that night we're flying to Arizona and starting a new series. So you're trying to keep the bullpen fresh. We were getting it handed to us pretty good. And our manager came down and he was like, "Hey, Nogo, do you think you can pitch?" And I said, "Oh, without a doubt. I got this. Don't even worry." So he said, "All right, don't throw any off speed, just fastballs. Let them hit it at somebody." And I was like, "Coach, I gotta mix it up. I got a good changeup. I got a good curveball. I gotta mix it up." So I know Dansby Swanson pretty well, playing against him and working out with him and stuff. So he got a hit off me. He hit a single to right. And I was yelling at him like, "What are you doing bunting off me? If you get a position, you got to try to go deep." But great piece of hitting, smoked it to right field. And then I got a guy to pop up, and then I got a guy to hit a ground ball back to me and turn it over play. So trying to not smile on the mound and just run off, that was kind of the hard part, because you do have your bullpen guys that have given up a few runs. So you're like, okay, let's just, get out of here and not rub it in too bad. But I gave it like a week or so, and then I was giving them all some pretty good, giving them,
Yeah, I'm sure you were like, well, a week ago, remember when I did? Yeah, I'm just joking with you, but
yeah, remember when those guys, I got real lucky, but no, I like giving it to the bullpen guys every once in a while.
Hey, why not? You earned it. So
Yep.
This offseason, obviously, it's been like no other. That's, that doesn't need to be said. But have you been able to stay not only physically ready for whenever you're going to be back out there, but also like mentally ready as well, because so much can go right or go wrong with what's going on right now? And just what's been your mentality and the mentality of people who you're close to around the league, just trying to narrow your focus to yourself and maybe stop focusing on everything else that's going on and just focus on how you can be the best athlete and the best player that you can be whenever you get back out there in, the full normal swing of things.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the struggle when you get an added 3-4 weeks to your off season, is trying to figure out how ready is too ready, because that's a real thing. Hitting in the cage is great for your off season, but then trying to maintain, we all have a so-called ready when we want to get down to spring training as far as our swing and our timing. So trying to kind of maintain that for an extra month, that's tough. So trying to make sure I manage my workload, and understand that at the end of the day, I'm still going to need my 30, 40, 50 at bats in spring training. So manage my workload in the cage, but really try to use these extra 3 weeks to get stronger in the weight room. Try to be able to maintain some of that, which is huge because it's hard trying to keep weight on and trying to keep your strength up through 162 games, especially with another month of spring training. So if we can cut that short, I can keep my workouts going, keep some strength on, maybe add a little bit more that I wouldn't have been able to. So there's been some good, there's definitely been some annoying parts of it. I'm kind of so far down in the union. I don't have a ton of say over what's a fair deal and what's not. So it's kind of out of my hands, which is nice in a way. I'm just waiting on that green light and I'll head down to spring training.
So I think that's just about all the time we've got for our first episode here of our interviews with former Mohawks. Ian, you have any last questions before we head out?
No, I'm all good. Just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, you've had one of the best recent seasons in Amsterdam history, and to have your perspective not only of the Mohawks, but also of your time in the major leagues and throughout the world of baseball. Super valuable to us, and we just wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, guys. Anytime you need me or, need me to get a hold of anybody, just let me know.
Yeah, John, thank you so much. And this is John Nogowski, and thank you guys for tuning into our first episode. Be sure to stay tuned to our Twitter pages, and this will be up on YouTube after. And we'll see you guys next time.